Superintendent Johnson from South Australian Police Traffic Services Branch. South Australian Police this Easter long weekend will be conducting Operation Safe Holidays. The operation will commence tomorrow, Thursday the 17th, and the operation will run right through Easter and conclude on Monday the 21st at midnight. For this operation, we will be targeting the fatal 5 contributors to lives lost and serious injuries on our roads. We'll be asking drivers to make sure that they're wearing seatbelts and making sure that their passengers are also wearing seatbelts when they're travelling. We'll be targeting speed. A reminder to all road users that the default speed limit for regional South Australia is 100 kilometres an hour, unless it's posted otherwise. We'll also be targeting drink and drug driving. Excuse me. Police will be out conducting random breath testing and also driver testing stations. We'll be targeting dangerous road behaviours, so we're asking all drivers, please don't take risks. And we'll also be targeting distraction. So if you are driving, again, please drivers, put your mobile phones away, and they can only be used if they're in an approved holder, and only then to make and receive phone calls. Look, last Easter holiday weekend last year, we tragically lost 3 lives on our roads, and 18 people were seriously injured. We would love nothing more this Easter period than to have a fatality-free period. We're asking drivers, please drive responsibly, please drive safely, please don't take risks. Our Easter message is, let's keep it sweet on the roads this Easter. Let's go for a fatality-free period.
And will there be harsher penalties for the people if they do, I suppose, break one of those 5?
I'll just finish
Sorry,
take some questions at the end.
No worries.
Just reiterating that message, please drive responsibly, drive safely, don't take risks, and let's aim for a fatality-free Easter period. Today, South Australian Police will be launching the story of Sergeant John Hong. Sergeant Hong is a member of our Traffic Services branch, and he's dedicated most of his policing career to road safety and to helping others. Tragically, Sergeant Hong lost his mother in a vehicle collision when he was just 19 years of age. And his story is a gentle reminder to us all of the tragic, devastating impact that road trauma has on families and on communities. A reminder, and the message again, please keep it sweet on the roads this Easter, drive responsibly, drive safely, and please don't take risks. I'd now like to hand it over to the Minister to say a few words.
In South Australia, we are so lucky to have thousands of fellow South Australians that dedicate their lives and their careers to keeping us safe in the community. And as we head into Easter, of course, that is front of mind when South Australian Police launch this latest road safety campaign aimed at keeping us all safe over the coming days as we look forward to a longer break away from work and perhaps getting away with our families to another part of South Australia to enjoy that time together. We are incredibly lucky to have police officers like Superintendent Johnson and also Sergeant Hong not only commit their lives and careers to this task, but in the case of Sergeant Hong being willing to tell his story, his family's experience with the tragic consequences of vehicle collisions and road trauma that can occur, particularly over periods of the year like Easter. This video is an incredibly powerful reminder about what a fatal collision can do to our community, the effect it has on families, but also in particular the ongoing impact it has on South Australian Police and our emergency services having to pick up the pieces for South Australians when any of us might find ourselves involved in one of these collisions. It is really, really powerful messaging that should be a stark reminder to all South Australians that we've got to concentrate on the task at hand when we're behind the wheel, particularly over this coming Easter long weekend. We've got to keep ourselves safe, we've got to keep our families safe, and we've got to keep all of those other road users around us safe. It's a longer weekend and we've got plenty of time in that respect. We shouldn't be in a hurry. We shouldn't be speeding. There's no excuse for inattention behind the wheel. There's absolutely no excuse for risky behaviour like drug or drink driving or speeding, let alone not wearing a seatbelt. Those fatal 5 that Superintendent Johnson mentioned before are going to be a focus of this police operation over the coming 4 days. And as he said, we are all aiming for a fatality-free long weekend this Easter, keeping everyone on the roads as safe as possible and making sure that we don't have to see the sorts of consequences like Sergeant Hong has been so generous in telling his family story. I now invite Sergeant Hong to say a few words about his experience and the video that he and SAPOL put together.
Thank you, Minister. It's been a good morning. It's been a Jesus, started already. It's been a fairly emotional morning, as you would imagine. So I'm going to sort of hang with my notes the best I can. 40 years ago, I lost my mum in a car crash. My brother, who was about 4 or 5 years old at the time, was also in the car. He suffered horrendous injuries, but he survived. This Easter, I'm sharing my family's story in the hope that people can understand the lasting impact of what's at stake when we use the roads. The circumstances of my mum's death and her crash are a very clear example of how a second of inattention can have catastrophic consequences which persist for a lifetime for those left behind. I also share my experiences as a major crash investigator with SAPOL and what it was like to tell families that their loved ones are never coming home. It's not a task that ever gets easy, and you never forget those faces of people you deliver that kind of devastating news to. That will stay with me forever. This Easter, and always, I hope my story can inspire people to just take a moment when you get behind the wheel. Consider the task at hand. When you're driving, that's your only job. Please, please, we all beg of you, be safe. Thank you.
Just a question for you. How old were you at the time and how old are you now? Obviously that stuck by you. Is that why you got into the police force and you just want to help other families?
It was a part of it. It was a couple of weeks before my 19th birthday when she died. And now I'm 59, soon to be 59. But like I say in the video, there isn't a day that goes by and I don't think of her. And I think any family would tell you the same thing about their loved ones. It's something that doesn't ever go away. You learn how to live with that kind of grief, and hopefully you've got support from family or other services and things to help you through that. I was really fortunate because I grew up in a small farming community in Canada, and those rural areas have a different kind of vibe around everybody knows everybody, so you've got a lot of support there. Not that it doesn't happen in metropolitan area as well, it's a different kind of thing, I guess.
Talk us through the process of making that video. It would have taken quite a bit of courage to, I suppose, tell your story on such a big scale.
You saw how it was a few minutes ago. I mean, it's not something that I talk about a lot. My close colleagues know, but it's not something I'm really experienced in discussing. So but the message is super important. And yeah, we all got busy lives and we got things to do and we're driving here and driving there, and it's something that for those that can drive every day. So you used to, I follow the same route in. How many times have you driven to work and then not remembered any of that drive? And you must. driving can be deadly for pedestrians, for cyclists, so vulnerable road users, and just other people out there driving. You got to pay attention to what you're doing. It's not hard. You don't need to do 17 things on your way to work. Get to work and do your stuff. Easy.
And just in relation to this Easter long weekend, what's your message to people?
Be safe. There's going to be so many more people on the roads who are going interstate or traveling to holiday places around South Australia. Pay attention to what you're doing. Have a great time, but leave early, rest lots, take breaks. If you're not going to get there today, get there tomorrow. It'll be okay. It's better than having us rock up to your door or rock up to your next kin's door, because that sucks for everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant Hong, for having the courage to share that story with everyone. As you can tell, he is very passionate about road safety, and we really hope that that message resonates with our community, and if that can save some lives and some serious injuries, then absolutely that's a very positive thing. So, your original question.
Sorry about that.
That's fine.
And touching on this weekend, are you guys going to be putting harsher penalties for people that are doing the wrong thing?
So, South Australia does not have extra demerit points. I think that's what you're sort of alluding to. We will have additional police out on the roads, obviously targeting Operation Safe Holidays. So, yes, our message is please drive responsibly, drive safely, and don't take risks on the road.
Where are we at with this year's road toll in comparison to last year? Is it something that you guys are looking at closely?
Look, we do monitor the total lives lost. Currently there's 25 lives lost this year, and that is slightly under the same time last year and slightly under the four-year average. However, our focus is entirely on no lives lost. That's our aim. We are aiming for a 50% reduction in lives lost by the year 2030, and we'll continue to work towards that target.
I've got a topic on something that's just the crime stats that came out this morning as well. It was saying that house break-ins have dropped and that kind of thing. Could you run us through that?
I don't have
You don't have
information
any
on that, so
information.
apologies there.
Yes, that's okay. Yes, please.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Another good month of crime statistics. We're seeing overall crime levels continue to reduce, and we're now seeing successive months where total levels of crime have continued to fall. What's been notable in this month's statistics is the reductions in property-related crime, particularly when it comes to robbery offences and so on. It's pleasing that the particular operations and the dedicated groups of police officers that have been allocated by the Police Commissioner are making significant inroads in this regard. But of course, similar to the messaging that we've just heard from the Superintendent and the Sergeant, we're aiming really, of course, we don't want to see any crime at all, which is why we're continuing to step up resourcing for South Australian Police, and why police are allocating additional resources to these focus areas. It's just pleasing in these latest statistics that we're seeing some progress in those target areas.
Are those statistics from the previous month, or is it from last year, same time last year?
No, so these are a rolling 12-month period up into February. This is basically February to February, and the previous months were January to January and so on. What we've seen from all the way back before December's statistics last year for that rolling 12-month period is total crime levels have continued to reduce. But that is, while that's good news for those focus areas which we've highlighted in the figures today, of course there's still a lot more work to do, and the good news is that South Australian Police are continuing to step up their targeted efforts and resourcing in key areas to continue combating this.
Thank you.
Terrific.